I just found out recently that he smoked some crack right before we got married.
Paula and Richard were high school sweethearts 40 years ago. After losing touch over the years, the two rekindled their love and have been married for the past 7 years. But now, the once starry-eyed lovebirds are picking each other apart like ravenous hawks.
When I was in the recovery house, she actually kicked the alcohol on her breath.
It was all well and good when Paula was working and Rick was in the shelters and he needed me to come pick him up. He got on the phone and said, Paula, I don't love you no more.
And now a love that once was pure and full of hope faces numbered days.
You never let a man tell you he doesn't want you more than once.
Today, on Divorce Court.
Come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toller presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Paula Thurber and Richard Thurber. The two of you have been married for 7 years. However, you have been separated for the past year, and I understand just now is the first time you've seen each other in a year. Mrs. Thurber, I'm going to start with you. I want you to tell me a little bit about your marriage and why this is the first time you've seen this man in a year.
I'm here today, Your Honor, to end this vicious cycle. Me and Richard have both had struggled with addiction. His was alcohol and prescription drugs. Mine was alcohol and cocaine, pretty much whatever was
Whatever came your
available.
way.
Exactly. And I've been clean and sober for a year, and I haven't seen him, so I'm pretty much done, and I just want this to end.
Mr. Thurber, do you want it to end?
Yes, I do, very much.
And what is your contention? Is the problem in the marriage that you're both addicts?
Yes, that's been a major problem. We don't get along.
You don't get along.
We don't get along, believe me.
You've called her the raging bull.
She is a raging bull.
Tell me about a rage or two.
Rage or two. We'll fight over the TV. She'll get mad about everything. If she don't, it's Paula or no way.
Does she yell? Is she cursing, screaming? Is she throwing things? All of it.
All of the above.
But you're innocent.
Ms. Thurber, do you start a lot of mess?
No, I don't start a lot of mess, but I don't take the mess either.
Yeah. So you finish it.
I finish it.
When you two got together, this often happens. When two addicts are together and out having fun, they enjoy each other. It's a good time. They get married, somebody sobers up, and then all of a sudden, that other person isn't any fun anymore. Is that what happened to the two of you?
No, I mean, we've known each other for over 40 years. 40 years. And, yeah, it was a lot of going back and forth. And I just reconnected like after 25 years, we got back together. And when Rick's good, Rick's good. I mean, he's got the bluest eyes, but when he's not, he's like Charles Manson, a demon.
Yeah. So he's charming, he's wonderful. Now, were you two using when you got married?
No, we were clean and sober for 2.5 years. And he chose to have a family member bring crack cocaine and alcohol, and I just found out recently that he smoked some crack right before we got married.
Mr. Thurber, were you clean and sober for 2.5 years but decided to smoke crack on your wedding day?
Yeah.
Walk me through that one. Get me from 2.5 years of sobriety to, with a woman who you also know has a substance problem, to let me smoke a little crack before I say I do.
He brought the cracks. He brought the cracks so he could drink the alcohol. Because he knew if he got me crack cocaine and got me started on the crack, that he could have the alcohol. Oh, yeah.
Mr. Thurber, that's a very deep accusation. Is it true?
We both smoked crack on our wedding night. It's the insanity of the disease.
How did it happen that day, though? Tell me the story. What happened?
A family member came over, and he had some, and he mentioned it to me, that he had it. And I guess I was ready.
You just couldn't resist it.
Not ready.
Well, not ready,
Yeah.
but you You got mad at that family member at some point,
Yes,
didn't
I
you?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't do that to people.
Your Honor, we went through $600 that people had gave us for gifts for
wedding.
our wedding, and woke up in the morning with $20, barely enough money to get from Grand Rapids home. We were up all night. We were in a room all night, and then we went in the streets of Grand Rapids.
A lot of people up all night on the wedding night, but they're doing other stuff.
Nothing. None of that was happening. We had the hot tub, but none of that was happening. We were in the streets of Grand Rapids looking for to find more drugs.
Well, tell me what happened from there. Was it an ongoing party from there on?
No, actually, we went. I take my addiction very seriously, and we were into meetings, and we had the white picket fence. We went to meetings, and everything was good. We went home and resumed jobs, and then we had an incident with the police, and they found marijuana at the house of Richards, and he ended up going to jail and for child support, and so we took all kinds of, I took everything I could to get him back home, and that gave him a right to start drinking again and leave his job. And then at one point, I came home. Before I could even get my wedding ring sized, they were gone. Rick decided to pawn my wedding rings 30 days after we got married.
When divorce court continues, does Paula's love for Richard have no limits?
I don't understand how he can say that I stalked him when he would call me and I would go 150 miles and pick him up from jail.
Divorce isn't easy. If you want to share your story, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com or become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court returns with the case of Paula and Richard Thurber, who admit to substance abuse even on their wedding day. But is their love for each other just too toxic?
When I was in the recovery house, she actually came with alcohol in her breath. She had a bottle under the seat.
When you two fell off the wagon on the wedding night, you got it back together.
Yep. I thought we got
You
it back
thought it
together.
got back together. But Mr. Thurber had begun to use behind your back.
When I was at work, and yeah.
Mr. Thurber, is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
Okay. She was working and you went home getting high.
Right.
And did you ever stop after the wedding incident?
I was drinking, yeah.
You were drinking. Did she know, or did you keep it from her?
No, she knew.
She knew? Was she doing it with you?
She was doing her drug.
She was doing her drug. Now, Mrs. Thurber, he says that you were right there with him.
I worked. He stayed home. And eventually, it always ended up to me going back to the drunk because I thought, well, he's doing it, I might as well do it. And then, then I'd have to call the police and have him removed, and
Now, what would you have? Give me a story about when you would have to call the police and have him removed. What would he be doing that would require that?
He didn't have a license. He would be taking my car. He wanted more alcohol, and then or I'd tell him he has to go to treatment because we were living with family members, and I was trying to hide it from my family.
Okay.
And
Mr. Thurber, was she really trying to keep it together and keep it going and keep it right, and you were just doing whatever you pleased?
No.
That wasn't right?
No.
What happened?
She let me take her car anytime I wanted. I had warrants out. She would call the police. We were arguing, and she would call the police, and I'd go to jail.
Okay. So she knew you had warrants. So anytime she got mad at you, she'd call up the police and have them come get you.
Thank you.
And take you in.
The biggest thing, she stalked me for many years.
She what?
Stalked me for many years.
Tell me about that.
I sure will.
stalk you.
She always seemed to find me. She's got, I call it Richard Radar.
But Your Honor, I don't understand how he can say that I stalked him when he would call me and I would go 150 miles and pick him up from jail and bring him to my town, get him into a recovery home, get him back into meetings, help him with other issues.
Is that true,
but
Mr. Thurber?
he
When
would-
you were down and out, you'd give her a call?
She picked me up from jail one time. We went to Detroit, and I went into a recovery house for a while.
One time.
But other than that, she was stalking you. Did you tell her, go
Constantly.
away, I don't like you, and then she just keeps coming by?
She would call me on the phone and not say anything. She would find. I changed my cell phone number a few times, my internet address.
No, it was all well and good when Paula was working and Rick was in the shelters, and he needed me to come pick him up and get him cigarettes or to run him around. But, you know, when Paula was down and out and didn't work, he would
didn't want anything to do with
no,
you.
he would find a new woman to come pick him up, and I would be in treatment, and people would be telling me that Rick's looking for me, and he called the treatment facility. So how am I the stalker?
She, when I was in the recovery house, she actually came with alcohol in her breath. She had a bottle under the seat.
When divorce court continues, does any tenderness remain between Richard and Paula?
Do you love her? Do you think Richard loses Paula when he's down and out? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call now.
If you would like your case heard on divorce court, call us toll free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter at divorcecourt. Divorce Court returns with the case of Paula Thurber, who says her husband Richard wants her only when he's down and out. But will Judge Lynn's wisdom get through to Paula?
He's using you. He's hurting you. He's stealing your heart. He's stealing your time. He's stealing your soul. He's stealing your sobriety. Let me ask you this, Mrs. Thurber. I think I have an idea about that codependent addiction thing you got going on.
Yeah.
But your problems go far beyond that. You say, for instance, that Mr. Thurber is a serial cheater.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Tell me about that.
He can't be alone. You know, it's all well and good when we're together. I mean, I've been to Grand Rapids and picked him up to take him to rehab with his wife living with him.
So did you have a wife and call your ex or soon-to-be wife and
We weren't
have her
even married then.
have her pick you up and take you to rehab?
Yeah, I forgot about her. I've been married 4 times. Just forgot.
4 times. Really?
Frequent flyer
So
miles.
You
then-
must be a charming somebody.
And then he'd disappear. And I wouldn't hear from him. You know, one of my closest relatives says, you seem to pick him up and get him cleaned up and do the, you know, I ran recovery houses. And, you know, when Rick's doing good, Rick's doing good. I can look at him when his eyes are beautifully blue, that he's fine. When they're black, then he's not doing good.
Do you reach out to her when you need her, and as soon as you get stable and get your legs up under you, you go gallivanting off with other women?
Just one time.
Just you only gallivanted one
How
time.
many I don't have enough fingers to count how many times.
Do you love her?
No, I don't.
When did you stop?
I've told her quite a few times I don't love her.
Has he?
Yeah, he does. And then, you know, but recently he said again that, oh, I'm going there because I want you back. And I can't go back. It's took me so long to get past this, the hurt, the you know, disappointing, the disappearing. It's nothing a marriage should be, besides the addiction, you know.
Mrs. Thurber, I like you.
Thank you. I like you too.
You never let a man tell you he doesn't want you more than once.
Oh, that was the first time he told me when he
No.
filed.
He's been telling you he doesn't want you for years.
He's telling you that now.
No. That's what women don't understand.
okay.
They don't actually say the words, but when they walk off and they only call you when they need you, when everything is fine and they don't want you, when everything is good and they're elsewhere, when they do stuff that hurt your feelings over and over and over again, that's why I don't love you. He's using you. He's hurting you. He's stealing your heart. He's stealing your time. He's stealing your soul. He's stealing your sobriety. He's stealing everything that you have. And I want want you to be angry about it.
I am
want
very
you to be
angry.
through with it. I want you to, he can come up to the door, got that hair flowing, flip it back like Fabio, and you still just don't care.
I
You could walk by him and he's on the street and he's on his knees and he's sick as a dog. Call the police and say, you got somebody out here you might need to pick up, but I can't do anything for you. This is where I want you to be.
I definitely would.
When divorce court continues, what was the turning point for Paula?
At that point, I haven't used since then.
Good.
And I have to worry, take care of me.
Do you think Richard loses Paula when he's down and out? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call now.
Divorce court returns with the case of Paula and Richard Thurber, who after 7 years of marriage and substance abuse are calling it quits.
He came to visit last year, and we had got into an argument, and he said he needed time, that he was going to go home and think about it, and if I ever wanted us to make it. He went home, and 2 days later, he called and said, take care, and I was like, take care. Actually, he went down that day and filed for divorce on that day, and then he got on the phone and said, Paula, I don't love you no more, and in my heart, I heard it and believed it, and at that point, I haven't used since then.
Good for
And
you.
I have to worry, take care of me, because before my codependency, I could be clean and sober, but if he was around, I had to fix him and make sure he was taken care of.
Tell me about the $500 you want from Mr. Thurber.
Well, my thing, my sister passed away 3 years ago, and I had an extra monitor, and it really isn't worth, it's worth a few $100, but that's the last gift that she bought me.
A computer monitor?
monitor.
Uh-huh.
It's a 21-inch, and also he was doing, for a family member that I had bought for a gift, a laptop that he was supposed to get a battery, which that's long gone because he sold it for either crack, which he doesn't do unless he's with me, or alcohol.
It's
That's
Your Honor.
gone. But the principle behind the monitor is that it was supposed to come back, and that's the last gift that I got from my dead sister.
And it has value to you, not
It has
only
sentimental.
sentimental value.
And I have emails that if I sent, he didn't have the right dates that we were married or any of that, that if I did that he would return my things.
And then she sent
that
me
was
an
a year
email,
ago.
and she said, just go ahead and keep it.
I'd never said that.
Yes, she did.
Come on.
but do you
She's
have
lying
it?
right now.
But do you have it?
Yes, I do. I have both.
I
of
know
them.
he does.
She can have them back.
That's what he's always tells me. I
Yeah,
never get him.
and I don't believe you.
He holds
So
on
I'm
to
going to
him.
award her the money for them, so we won't have to worry about you leaving here and doing the wrong thing. So, so I am going to award the money from them.
Thank you, Your Honor.
$500 in favor of Mrs. Thurber, but before that, I'm going to say, Mrs. Thurber, you're a superwoman.
Thank you.
Mr. Thurber is kryptonite.
I
You
know.
can't get anywhere near him. You can't talk to him on the phone. He ought not visit. He ought not come by. You
Not
see his name, you ball it up and throw it in the trash. Other than the divorce papers, sign them
Right,
suckers
right.
and run like lightning. You understand
I
that?
can run.
Mr. Thurber, I don't think you're a bad guy, but you're doing bad things to her. And it's easy for somebody in addiction to use somebody who loves them. And I'm asking you now, while you're sober, to lose her number, lose her cell phone, just walk away. Just
She needs
do
to
the
stop
right
calling
thing.
me. She called me a bunch of times last night.
Well, I just told her to stay away from you. You were kryptonite.
do.
You were there. You heard me.
I did hear
And
it.
I'm telling you what you need to do.
Okay.
Is to stay away from her.
I will.
Be a better person.
All right.
Even an addict can be a better person. $500 in favor of Mrs. Thurber.
you.
It is so ordered.
Parties may leave the courtroom.
Paula states that since the show, Richard has called her several times. Paula says that she will always be his friend, but doesn't want to be